My name is Jack Sullivan, and 6 months ago, I attended my own funeral. No, I wasn't dreaming. And no, I wasn't dead. At least, not yet. It all started on an ordinary Thursday morning. I was driving to work when my phone rang. The caller ID showed an unknown number. Normally, I would have ignored it, but for some reason, I answered. A young woman's voice asked one strange question. "Are you Jack Sullivan?" Yes. She stayed silent for a few seconds. Then she whispered, "I'm sorry, I think they're coming for you." The call ended. I tried calling back. The number no longer existed. I laughed it off. Probably a prank. Or so I thought. That evening, I noticed something unusual. A black SUV was parked across the street from my apartment. The same SUV appeared outside my office the next morning. Then outside the grocery store. 3 days in a row. Someone was watching me. I finally reported it to the police. They searched the license plate. It was fake. That should have been my warning. Instead, I ignored it. A week later, I received another phone call. The same woman. This time she sounded terrified. "You don't have much time." Before I could ask anything, I heard shouting. Then the line went dead. That night, someone broke into my apartment. Nothing was stolen, nothing was damaged, except for one thing. Every photograph of me had disappeared. Family pictures, graduation photos, even my driver's license photo had been cut out. Who would do that? And why? I packed a bag and checked into a small motel outside the city. I thought I was safe, until the motel manager knocked on my door. He handed me a newspaper. My hand started shaking. The headline read, "Local man dies in car explosion." The picture beneath it was me. According to the article, I had died the previous night. I stared at the page for several minutes. Someone had officially declared me dead. But I was standing there, holding the newspaper. I immediately called the police. They assumed it was identity fraud. But before they could investigate, every government database already listed me as deceased. My bank accounts were frozen. My driver's license became invalid. Even my phone contract was canceled. Overnight, I stopped existing. 2 days later, curiosity got the better of me. The newspaper listed the location of my funeral. I couldn't resist. Wearing a hat, sunglasses, and a beard I had quickly grown, I quietly entered the back of the church. My family was there. My friends, my coworkers. Everyone believed I was dead. Then I saw her. The young woman who had called me. She was sitting alone in the last row, crying. After the service ended, I followed her outside. She wasn't surprised to see me. Instead, she smiled sadly. "I knew you'd come." "My name is Emma Carter," she said. "My father worked for a private security company. He discovered someone was selling new identities to dangerous criminals." I frowned. "What does that have to do with me?" She looked straight into my eyes. "You weren't the target. You were the replacement." I didn't understand. She explained that powerful criminals sometimes needed people to disappear forever. To do that, they stole someone else's identity. The original person had to legally die first. That person was me. The car explosion had never happened. The body inside wasn't mine. Someone had altered dental records, fingerprint files, even government databases. Everything had been planned months in advance. Emma's father tried exposing the operation. A week later, he disappeared. Before vanishing, he left Emma one instruction: warn Jack Sullivan. That's why she called me. She had been searching for me for weeks. The black SUV? They weren't watching me. They were waiting for confirmation that I had disappeared. Emma handed me a small flash drive. My father risked everything for this. Inside were thousands of confidential files. Names, photos, fake death certificates, hidden bank transfers. Enough evidence to expose an entire criminal network. We took everything to a federal investigator named Marcus Reed. At first, he doubted us, until he checked one file, then another. Within days, multiple arrests were made. The operation had existed for nearly 15 years. Hundreds of people had legally died while still alive. Some never even realized their identities had been stolen. Months later, my legal identity was finally restored. I got my bank accounts back, my job, my apartment, even my passport. Life slowly returned to normal. But one question still haunted me. I asked Emma, "Why did your father care so much about saving me?" She smiled, then handed me one final envelope. Inside was a photograph. It showed two young men standing together. One was her father, the other was mine. On the back was a handwritten note. "Your father once saved my life. This was my chance to return the favor." I sat there in complete silence. My father had passed away years earlier. He never told me that story. He never expected repayment. Yet decades later, one act of kindness came back to save his son. That day I learned something I'll never forget. Kindness doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it travels through generations. And sometimes the person who saves your life is someone you've never even met. So if you ever think one good deed doesn't matter, remember my story. Because I attended my own funeral, and I'm alive today because of a promise M made long before I was born. See you in the next video.